For the first year or two that most of us learn guitar, we're mostly focused on getting our fingers to work right. Learn how to switch between chords smoothly, maybe play some scales, and dig into some parts of songs that you're really into. Maybe not the whole song, but just like the main riff. All of that is okay, but it's going to leave you with a gaping hole, not as a guitar player per se, but as a musician. So let's fix that. All right, so what am I talking about here? You can play some chords, you can play some scales, you can improvise a little bit, you're getting adept at moving around on the guitar without fumbling all the time. That's all good if your goal is to play along with some songs, do a cover song here and there, maybe just to improvise a little bit over a backing track. But for most of us when we learn guitar, the goal goes way beyond that. We want to create something. Music is creativity. Now, a moment ago, I said it's perfectly fine to just learn a bit of a song and not the whole thing. And while that's true, there's this one thing you should be doing while you're going about learning those bits of songs. And doing this will keep you from getting frustrated, wondering what to do next once you get kind of adept at playing the guitar. And what is that one thing? We're going to say it right up front. It's song structure. While you're going through and learning those riffs to the songs that you love, also pay attention to the song structure of the song that you love that you're bothering to learn. And really, there's kind of two things here that you want to put together when you're doing that. The first and most easy part is to write down the arrangement as you go. How are these songs put together that you love? Is it like an intro, a verse, a chorus, and then the whole thing repeats? Does it start with a chorus, drop down, go to like a slower verse, and then it's pre-chorus, chorus, maybe a solo, verse, chorus, whatever the arrangement is? Start writing down the arrangements to the songs that you love and look at what commonality they have. You're going to see there's not a whole lot of variety with a few weird exceptions when it comes to how songs are arranged. There's a lot of patterns that get used over and over in popular music and the things that move you when you listen to them. But that's only half of what you could be learning. As I said, there is a second thing. 2, what are the chord progressions for each part? And more importantly, where do the chord progressions launch from each part to the next? Again, I don't mean to learn the song note for note. I'm just talking about kind of the root chords behind the parts of the song. So even if you had something complex, kind of like what I'm going to play here, what you're trying to figure out behind that is what the root chord of each one of those little changes is, almost as if you were playing a really simple 8th note bass line. So with this, it was just G, and then it's a B flat to a C. So in the next part, that was just a C again. So I'm learning just the basic skeleton behind the chord structure, the framework, which was G, B flat, C, G, C in this case. And now when the song that you're figuring out moves on to the next part, where does that new chord progression launch from? Maybe it launches from D or C or E flat and it has a different sound. We have something that launches from D here. Maybe it's the chorus. Whatever it is that it went to is what created the mood of the song. It's that interval, the relationship between the intervals, a chord progression that starts on G, next a chord progression that starts on D or E flat or whatever it is in the song that you're listening to, understanding the interval distance between the parts. A verse is the root note of whatever key the song is in. The chorus is on the 5th or the 6th or wherever that progression starts. These things create a mood and a feel and become what you learn to use when you're writing songs yourself. Understanding arrangements and the intervals that build those arrangements as you compare one part to the other is a very important piece of information. If you're doing anything besides playing cover music, you really need to know this stuff so that you can create music that makes you feel stuff as much as the music that you love to listen to. But dude, I want to be totally original. Doesn't that just like teach me how to copy people? How do you know if you're copying anyone if you don't know what anyone else did? As of the time I'm recording this video, there are over 50 million songs on Spotify and they're reporting 40,000 new ones added per day. Do you really think you're going to create a chord progression that's completely unique and never been done before? What makes your music unique is the nuances of style. If you're singing over it, the inflection of your voice, the sound of your voice, the way you approach rhythms, the way you approach your leads, the way you meld everything together. Just the basic structure of the songs and the chord progressions that you use are not what really make the uniqueness of each individual song. The arrangements of a song and the relationships between the chord progressions from one part of the song to the other are like the foundation and the framework of a house that you're building. And so what kind of house do you want to have? What do you want it to feel like when you live there? Knowing what has worked for others and works for you when you hear it is going to inform your creativity and not turn you into a clone. Not knowing what has come before you only increases your chances of becoming a clone by accident. So I hope that all made sense. This is a pretty important topic, so I think maybe I'll turn it into its own playlist, do like a whole songwriting thing, and we could start analyzing different relationships of intervals and stuff from different songs that are really good. If you have any questions or comments or anything you'd like to see me clarify further, please leave it in the comments below. I always get back to people as soon as I can. Until next time, guys, keep making great music. Hey friends, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications. It makes the whole world better.